Hello guys, welcome back to Cassette Confessions. This video we're looking at Fireman Sam, or Fireman Sam the Hero Next Door, or Fireman Sam 1. It just depends how you actually look at it very much. So, Fireman Sam, another new show. So, another show to actually go through, so that's brilliant. Fireman Sam, a very great stop-motion animated TV show. Well, used to be. CGI is sort of taking its place now, but the original Fireman Sam, absolutely fantastic, absolute killer. Just to point out that way, it is absolutely fantastic. Because I grew up, I grew up the show, and it is worth talking about this. Of course, I've only done one video to do with Fireman Sam. That was to do Path of Nostalgia. Now let's talk about it again, and we'll start at the beginning. We'll start with the series 1, with the Hero Next Door on number 1, the Blue Edition, whatever you call it, really. So we've got the 4 episodes. And yes, so we're dealing with BBC video releases, or BBC Video, so interesting. So we'll get to it now. So the ident, of course, used is I would say from the mid 80s. I don't know when it was used. I mean, it's the same old one that was used for many releases in the 80s, of course, but it has its last theme tune very much. It hasn't got its grandiose, like. I don't know, I don't know what you call it, like a sporting anthem or something like that. Like, it's not grander, very 80s keyboard type sounds, of course. A lot of twin keyboard sounds, if that makes sense, really. But it's decent. I mean, it's only played the first few, for what I remember. But it's all right, actually. I do like it when it ends, of course, and it has again, very 80s, of course, very 80s sounding. But that's all right, really. Now, moving to the video content now. So we're going to go 4 episodes to go through, of course, depending on the run, because, Fireman Sam, I think, run for about, well, in terms of series, it had 8 episodes produced in 1983 for Wales. It wasn't until 1997 that the show got an English redone by John Alderton, and was broadcast on the BBC in '87. So yes, okay. Just to point out that way. Again, it's done by Bumper Films, which is, I think I mentioned before in the Path of Nostalgia video. And just to recap a little bit, Bumper Films, interesting animation, interesting styles as well. Interesting, kind of style of animation, how they do it. It's pretty good. So I'm quite pleased with that. Something different for a change. Yes, in terms of any other animations very much, but it's still great. We open with the fantastic theme tune, of course, by Malden Pope. It was released as a single, believe it or not, back in '88. So, which is quite strange, actually, because you usually, back in the 80s, you probably used to get novelty singles like that, of course. The actual theme tune or a song, and the B-side will be like a song to do with the show itself. With Fireman Sam, you have the original theme, of course, sung in English, but in the B-side, you have it sung in Welsh. So, fair enough, actually. But it's a nice little trivia about that. They've done it a few times with a few shows. To spring to mind, Family Nest is one. The Trapdoor is one. I think maybe a few others, actually, so it's in that camp, really. But, yeah, also the Shoe People as well. Yeah, they actually released a single as well, so fair enough. Again, I think it's just it was meant just to cash in with the TV show, the popularity, and very much so. Again, video content, going back to it, the 4 episodes. So we got The Kite, the very first episode. The video itself was released in 1988, the BBC one, our English one, but it was actually released a year before, believe it or not, for the children's TV favorites, which was the NSPC compilation, and that first appeared on there, actually. So it's quite a bit strange, actually, to be honest, because I don't know, actually, because it's like, you have a few familiar favourites, of course, on that. Yep, you have the familiar favourites. And then you have a new show just included, I think just newly released, actually, newly broadcast, and let's cash in on that, for the home video market. Let's put this on the compilation and see where that goes. So The Kite was included on there first, actually, so, and then afterwards, or was it released in Wales first, back in the early 80s? I'm not entirely sure, really, because there was no information about that at all, so I'm not entirely sure, really. But for the UK versions, you know, this was really, the VHS was released in 88, but as we know, the episode The Kite was released beforehand on the compilation in 1987. Okay. Speaking of the episode, it's actually a really good one. You know, it's the introduction episode. You really sort of get into the spirit of Pontypandy itself. You know, the characters, of course. I do think early on, Ollison's narration is he's finding his feet. You know, as you may know, stuff like with Bella Lasagna, of course, there is that sort of like, when you look back on it, you know, compared to like later on, his narration style sort of improved. It did with the characters, of course. But I think here it's a bit, again, finding his feet, of course. You know, just getting to it very much. But again, great voice work. You know, and of course the odd stuff with Norman, of course. You know, I don't know what he's trying to do it, really. I'm thinking of like that later episode. No, it was just like I think he's having maybe just like a near collision with Sarah James and Trevor Evans. Yes, indeed. When Find the Kite, of course. I mean, that's, you know, just one of those things, really. And obviously, it details with stuff to do with aerials, but it also does with high winds as well at the time. You know, broken antennas and everything. So it basically educates you on that sort of front, anyway. So great start. Then we got Flat Tire. Got another good one. I actually remember liking that one. Just do a runaway tire. Just basically like a normal road incident, really. To be honest, you know. It's basically just like and a fish out of water episode. To be, I don't know really how you describe it, because there's no real action. Just do a lost tire. Sam sort of, you know, lend a hand, of course, and stuff goes wrong, of course, with Trevor, you know, being obviously being the idiot, the butt of jokes now and again, and you know, also Dennis Price and the kids very much just waiting for a bus, very much because they've been to Newtown shopping on deals and everything, you know, and a faulty fallout sun chair. Okay. So yeah, it's another good one, actually. So it's, you know, it's pick up momentum. It is, you know, like, and great, so good. Then afterwards we've got Trevor's training. So Trevor has been in the original series, of course, he was an auxiliary fireman. He was, so obviously John's on board now and again for a few cases. He's the bus driver. It's basically like a volunteer fireman, very much. And so this is basically him training, trying to be, you know, and ends up having a few mishaps, of course, being stuck in a drain, maybe because of his weight and everything else. So it's funny, even though it can be a bit, you know, it's like, I don't know, but people go different ways with that. Sometimes, you know, people can be sensitive. Some people, you never know, you know, with the whole weight thing, of course. But it's funny. It's a funny gag, of course. You know, try and pull him out and everything. But it's a decent one. It is. You know, I think out of the Flame 4, out of that video, is sort of the weakest one, I think, you know, because you have two great star ones, the Kite and Flat Tire. Trevor's train's there. It's just, you know, it's just there, really, but it's a decent one, it is. And then finally, we got Norman's Tricky Day, another great one I used to love watching. Just Norman Price is playing tricks on everybody, you know, on the fire, you know, on Pontypandy's fire service, to be honest. You know, instead of, you know, putting boot polish, you know, putting boot polish instead of actual polish in a, you know, when Sam's just doing it and he's just covering the windscreen in boot polish as a prank, greasing up the fire poles, setting off the alarms and making the station office steal. It is, again, also it ends up come up as, of course, he gets his head stuck in the bars. So yes, you know, that can happen to a few people now and again. So again, you know, could be, you know, it's just one of those situations, really. It could be handy. Who knows? So overall, it's a really good VHS, a good start for the series, of course, and, you know, still more to cover, of course. So yes. So after me talk about Fireman Sam, The Hero Next Door, or Fireman Sam 1, the Blue Edition, who knows? thanks for watching, guys. See you for the next video, and